Hi, this is Cheryl, and in this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about uh, ways that we can um, align our low lumbar spine that help increase the freedom of your pelvis in the context of turning your weight one side or to the other. The context of the movement for this is out of aikido work, but it also can be a support just simply in how you're turning and moving in your life. And so one element that can be worked on to help support that freedom, it's a very basic distinction, and it's one I've really come to appreciate, can go deeper and deeper in study about what this can be like. But the basic distinction is often we have a kind of arch in our low back, and there's a sort of accumulation of tensions in order to keep this posture. And so what I'm working with is to reverse that direction of up and have it come down and elongate along your low lumbar spine, along your sacrum. And so, of course, there's several layers of muscle that happen here, but what I'm most interested in, there's a whole series of long, thin extensor muscles that do a lot of work related to posture, and standing upright. And we want to find a way to isolate and allow those muscles to have appropriate levels of tone. So it's not a complete letting go, but if they're constantly doing this kind of work to shorten here, then it very much impacts how much freedom, how much mobility your pelvis has. So allowing this to release and drop, to have a kind of posture where that's elongated in the way that it can be. And so it's helpful to use your hands simply to sense the difference between, an arching up or a releasing and opening. And I view this as a bit of a long-term project to find what's possible for you in terms of just releasing unnecessary tone, for basic, posture. But then the movement that we brought that kind of alignment into was simply the piece of being able to turn one side or the other, and to have a difference between which leg you're weighted into. And so I'm just going to bring my camera over here and see if this allows a better full person view of my legs. Okay, that's a little bit better. And so having this sense of being able to lengthen through here and then choose, if I'm turning in one direction, how do I load, create the stable access of balance over one foot, and what's possible for that. And then can I also choose my other leg? So I'm turning the same direction, but I'm really able to put my weight into this leg. And so, some of the benefits of being able to do both, that if I turn one direction and sink into this leg, it certainly facilitates, an opening up and step. And so if you're doing something like ikkyo, then you've got a nice dynamic and stable way to affect that movement. But as we explored, you could also do it on this leg and have that rotation happen, because you've got a line of access, the line of your spine and the line of this foot, to enable that movement while you have your weight here. And both of those I think are really helpful to have when you're doing movement, all of this kind of entering and turning, this irimi tenkan, is really supported by having either option available to you. And so just a little note about really noticing how that descending part of your low spine can open up the freedom of movement, whether you're weight into one leg or weight into the other leg, that there's a sinking process that can really facilitate some really nicely coordinated movement in whatever process you choose to use, the opposite leg or the near leg as your weight bearing support. So hopefully this was helpful. Thanks for tuning in.